All right, so good morning once again. Good morning, programmers. So this time we're going to discuss about data encryption. So when we talk about data encryption is a process of hiding a message, an original message into a non-readable message. So yeah, historically, data encryption or encryption has been used by the I don't know, it's been used by the people before, especially katong mga Greek and ancient world pa or ancient times. They actually use the to encrypt the message to send a message to other kingdom or to other places in such a way that it cannot be read easily. So, like for an instance, if one kingdom is going to send a message to other kingdom, and that is for them, that is confidential, so they would actually hide it in a way of like encryption. So before, I mean, today we used to have encryptions like password. We used to have other types of encryptions, especially today. No, it's very important to keep our messages being private. So that is what since uh, they don't have this technology today. What they did is, kasi ang ilahang ano is they just let the message carried by the messengers. So that is why it's very vulnerable, no, to human intrusion, or parang anytime or any at any time pwede lang maano ang messenger, or pwede lang anuhon bisan kinsa na tao. So that is why if even try to observe sa Game of Thrones, they use Raven, no, to send messages. So just like that, no, they are going to dapat i-seal nila ang ilahang mga messages in such a way na dili siya makita ang excuse me, in such a way na dili makita ang real message. So one of the ways to do that by those people, especially during the ancient times, is they do encryptions. Or what they did is, they, even if that message will be compromised, let's say for an instance, like makuha to na letter or whatsoever, at least there is this what we call code, and then after that, before they're able to decrypt it, before they're able to know the real message, they'll have to crack it, no. So just like what happens in the World War II, if you have watched the movie simulation game, or the imitation game rather, uh, yeah, have you guys watched that movie, the imitation game, which is I guess that the ang nagdala ato si Benedict Cumberbatch sa katong ano sa nagdala sa si Doctor Strange, oo. So it's actually the story of um, Alan Turing, where Alan Turing is the father of computer science, created a Turing machine to crack the Enigma, no, the Enigma encryption, which was created by Germany. So during that year, during that no that times World War II, that Enigma is the most secured encryption, or encrypted messages, or encrypted message, or encryption in that time, or at that time. So that's the from Adolf Hitler, no, mga Germans. So during that time, or during those times, syempre na ato'y giyera, and when they send mga messages towards, or parang going to their militaries, so they'll have to encrypt their messages, so para di walay intruder, or if na may mga intruders, the message will not be able to parang dili makita, no, so it's safe and secured. So that is why Alan Turing formed a group and created parang a computing machine. He actually called it Turing machine, and it actually parang it keeps on generating randomized mga numbers, letters, any characters, and then to match the enigma. So that they're able to see unsay mga plans and strategy and strategy, mga plans of the Germans. And because of that, they were able to decrypt it and uh, na prevent nila ang mga attacks, no. So because nakita nila ang mga plans sa Germans. So little did we know during sa history during World War II ang ano lang is of course katong ang ang World War II, no, is kuan lang because of the soldiers, because of the armies, but little did we know that dako pala og impact ang technology, dako pala og impact ang data structures ato, no, ang data structures in such a way na they're able to decrypt the most uh, secured and safe encryption. So this time we are only going to I am going to only give you two encryption process or two encryption for at least for us to uh, know the basic, no, how to on how we actually do encryption. So encryption is a process of hiding the message, and then decryption is the process of taking it back to the original one. So there is this what we call plain text. Plain text is the original text. When we say ciphertext is the code or text that is that is the encrypted message. So the most common encryption before was used by Julius Caesar. So when he sent messages to other places or to other kingdom using messengers, he created or invented this what we call Caesar ciphertext. So yeah, so he called it as Caesar. Di man maano eh. Anyway, di man gud mo gana akong pen tab diri, no. So what do I do? Yeah, it's Caesar ciphertext. Tulan ta sa word B. Ayan, diri na lang. Okay, madali maka-work. So Cesar, I can work around here. Tama na. Cesar cipher text. Ayan. So in Cesar ciphertext, they use the alphabet to represent the letters for the encryption. So what they did is, okay, first is they have the plain text. So let's say for an instance, you have there the plain text. So let's say the plain text is uh, legacy, legacy. Okay. So the plain text is the legacy, and then we have to determine the okay the key. Okay. So wait for a while. So the key. So the key is any numerical number or any numeric number to determine the shift. Okay, so what is that shift? So key or shift, we call it shift or key or shift key in such a way that using the alphabets, we are going to shift the number of we are going to shift couple times going to the right. Okay, for each letter in the plain text. Okay, so let's say for an instance, we have, let's say ang shift na to is 4. Okay, so using the alphabets A to Z, so ano na to, sorry, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Okay? So using this alphabet, we are going to shift each letter in the plain text going forward or going to the right or towards the right using the shift key. So example, we have here the plain text. So in the plain text, you were able to come up with a ciphertext by by shifting or use by shifting each letter through this key, which is moving towards the right four times. So let's say L. So L is here. So using the key 1, 2, 3, 4, and the first letter in our plain text will be decrypted into P. Okay, so that's it, no? So who would ever wonder that the L is P is actually L to represent legacy. So we can it keeps on doing that, or you can keep on doing that using the shift key for E naman. So wala tay E day dire. Mali sa keyboard, wala na apil. So we have oops there. So A B C D E F G H I. So the next letter in the ciphertext is I. Okay. So yeah, no. So we have here pi, then G. How about for G? Anyone? So that is for G we have hello
L.
L. Okay. So G H I J K L. Tama ba? G H I J K H-I-J-K. K lang, no? Tama ba? So, L-M-N-O-P. So, for G, you have H-I-J-K. Okay, K lang. Okay? So, we have
Really, sir.
K. For A naman, we have, uh, for A, we have A, B, B, C, D, E. Okay, E. Okay, next is for A, yeah, tama, no? So, we have for C, so D, E, F, G. Ayan. And then for Y, we have, okay. So in the algorithm for ciphertext, okay, so for Cesar ciphertext, this should be the case. So since in programming or in computer programming, we have only letters, no, di ba? In alphabets A to Z. And then all other characters after Z will be different characters. And it's difficult for us to determine that. So, kasi, again, we only use the A to Z alphabet. So, as we all know, in computer programming or in in our keyboard, so actually each of this represents a character. So pag mulapas na sa Z, this would be another character na. So this time, it has to do in a circular manner. So circular manner in such a way that once mulapas na siya with the Y, and in shifting to Z, it goes back to the first. No? It goes back to the beginning. So Z, A, B, C. So C. So this time, our ciphertext is picking, picking C, something like that. Okay. So who would ever imagine that the one word, which is legacy, is now once it is encrypted, it is now picking C. Okay. So that's what they did until all the messages in that letter will be encrypted. So that's how they do it, no, in hiding the real message. So per word, no, so imagine magpadala kag sulat pohon and you want to encrypt it, so mas okay po siya kasi it cannot be read by uh, just someone or anyone. So pwede ang uban na imuhang sendan would only know the key, or I don't know what's your key. It depends on you. Ikaw man maghatag sa ihaon sa ang key pag decrypt to your real message. Okay, so pwede nimo magamit actually, puwede nimo ni siya magamit like sa imong mga database, like sa password, kasi sa though siyempre ang database karon na may mga hash key 'no sa password, in which even if ma-open ang atoang mga ma-open ato ang database, dili gyapon I mean, 'pag naka-hash key imong password or naka-hash imong password, kay dili na siya the same with like naka-masking in a representation of asterisk or ellipse sign. So, let's say for an instance, imong password is legacy. Pag abot ana sa database, 'pag ma-open nimong database, legacy jud na ang imong password. So, dali makit-an ang password nimo. So, what they did is they actually applied that encryption which is isa sa mga strong encryption karon is kanang ginatawag nila og hashing. So, in which pag store sa database instead na legacy, it's a combination of different letters. Actually, like say legacy is only 6 letters pero pag abot dito sa imuhang database is it could be parang daghan kaig letters no, combination of mga probably maabot og 20 letters and something like that, and dili mabasa because it's a combination of different random letters. So that's one of the examples. If ever na wala ka nag key, especially for an instance like sa mga password and username or for an account, you can use a simple encryption like Cesar Ciphertext. Now, once it is stored to a database, you can do the process of encryption like example using Cesar Ciphertext. So sa program nimo siya ibutang imuhang key, and then pag store ana dito sa database, it's speaking C. Then once you are going to fetch it to your database, so of course i-program po nimo siya na using the key for every time na para pag every time mag-store og password dito sa atong database, it's not the real or password or not the original password. So only after kung i-access nato siya saka nato siya i-convert or i-decrypt. So now how do we do that in what they call this one in programming? So to do that, let's go now to our here. So we are going to create let's say we have here test Cesar. So this is just a simple encryption. So for in here, what you will do is remember that whenever there is a character, let's say for an instance, you have the string legacy in your, string, let's say password or plain text legacy. Okay. So what we do is that using the character, so we know, as we all know in Java, character is considered as numeric value. So when it is numeric value, therefore, when you add the value or the character by, let's say, you have a character CH plus 2, okay, when you display the character, the CH, so para lang sa parang activator lang of the knowledge. So when we run this one, you have CH is using the number. So it would be easier for us sa Java. Unlike other programming languages like C++, it would be difficult for us to do this one. So we have C plus 2. That is, the value of C is shift ka from C to 2. It's now become E. So DE. Now, you shift to 2. So meaning to say, pag ato ang letter is, let's say, plain text at car at, let's say, first character na to is 0 and then atong shift is 4. Sorry, 4. What happened here is that we have to typecast this to character. Okay, so Yeah, it's already typecast. Okay, sige. Mhm. All right. So right here, so P, now to represent P, yan, P is now, I mean L is now P. So therefore, it would be easier for us to convert it uh, into a ciphertext. So we'll just need a loop to do that. So okay, so right here, let's say we have for loop, then int x is equal to 0, x is less than, let's say, the plain text, the length of the plain text, length, and then x plus plus, and then after that, we are going to uh, get the value. So every time mag-loop siya, I will need to concatenate the value of hold, the value of plain text, each character of this to hold. But after we do this one, so this is what we do. Okay, so let's move this one out. Just wait for a while. So let's instantiate muna. I initialize this one to empty. So this time we are going to convert now each character. So let's say our key is 4, and key is equal to 4. So we'll change this to key. And then, so let's display now the hold. Okay, so let's try. So, oops, what happened? Because we have 0 here. So dapat X. Oops, X. So pikigs, yeah, later on na nato na siya i-correct. So as you can see, we have here, you have here a loop, no, a loop in which it actually loop from 0 to the length. So meaning all throughout the each character towards the end of the character of the plain text. So that's legacy. And then every time it is every time the iteration is doing its looping process, or every time this loop does its iteration, iyahang i-visit per character of the plain text. Then i-add nato with key. So that's adding each character by the value key, which is 4. And then i-typecast, ibalik nato siya into character. So unsay gi-add ana siya ni sir? Ang gi-add ana niya is actually a ASCII code. Okay? So as American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So as we all know, L is I mean A, the ASCII code of A, 90, 93. Wait, so, ay na to. Manubag. We have here character 93. Check. Oops, delete siya. Mhm. 64, 63 daw. Dili. Unsa yung ASCII code sa A? 91, 95. Mm, yeah, so daw unsay ASCII code sa ano be? Kalimot ko.
9-7 daw sir.
97. Sige. Basi 97. Magul mo mutabang. Okay. So we have, yan. Okay. Thank you for that, 97. So I'm actually closer to that, no? So ASCII code of small letter A is 97. Therefore, 98 is actually B. Mm. So, yan, no? So, A, B. So, inana siya ang nahitabuan na ASCII code ang gigamit niya for adding. So, gi-add na to ang 4. How come, basin you wonder ba na how come naging letter siya? So, yeah, it uses the ASCII code. Let's say, ang ASCII code aning L is, ang ASCII code aning L is, let's say, 98, 97 ang A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So probably 98 plus 12, that is 100, 100, no? So probably nasa 100 plus ang ASCII code sa L. So let's say 100,
10. 110.
10, sir.
100,
110.
110. Ayan. So nasa 110, di man lagi, LMNOP. Basin 12. Yan, 112. A small letter P. Anyway, yeah, we're talking about upper cases here, no? So, yan. So, 112 is the ASCII, 198 is the ASCII code of L, tama? Tama, no? I know. The ASCII code of P is 112 and, tama ba ko? 98 rather. Asa ba? Nawala na ko. So, basta, let's say for, 108? 108, tama, 108. So, what's the one, what's ASCII code of L? ASCII code of L is 108. So, tapos,
Sir, ay, no?
108. 108, Kuro. So, try na to. Yeah, 108 ang ASCII code of L. So, that's meaning to say, pag read niya dire, small letter L man, no? L daw na to. Yan, pag store, abot niya dire, 100, ASCII code of L is 108 plus the key. So, count siya 8 plus, 108 plus 4, it makes P. So, mo nang nahimo siya P. Nakuha, class?
Yes, sir.
Inana ang
Understand,
pag-convert
sir.
niya.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
check.
Sabot ni sir.
Okay, very good. So now, ato ang worry lang is paano nato ni siya i-ano into, like for an instance, in our legacy here, paano nato siya paano siya mo balik sa letter A. So, unsaon nato na siya. So, we are going to do we are going to change a certain algorithm for that. But before that, we are going to convert this into ADT or abstract data type because that's the purpose of our of this course, no, data structures and algorithm. We don't do this kind of programming. What we did is we are going to do ADT for our Cesar Ciphertext. So to do that, we are going to create a class, and then let's name it Cesar Ciphertext. Yeah. So, and then click on finish. So right here, what we are going to do is, this is where we are going to, kasama ni. Okay. All right. So right here, asa naman to? Cesar, yan. And then, where are you, Cesar? There. Okay. So, we are going to make it like, dili na ta magutang og plain text. So we have our plain text, we have our ciphertext, and then we have, sorry, like data type. Okay, and then we are also going to do our key. Okay, and then we are going to create a, so same atong gihimo nato na fuel tank, di ba? So we are going to create a default constructor for our Cesar ciphertext. Okay, and then let's say here we are going to initialize our plain text and ciphertext into, sorry, ciphertext. Yeah. And then with our key as, let's say, 0. Okay, so this time we can overload our ciphertext as our cipher, in which it could have plain text. So plain text, and then this one right here, sorry, is that plain text equals to text. And then for our key, we don't have a key anymore for this. So yeah, so this time we can also overload our ciphertext with the key. So in key, we'll have here this, that key equals to key. And of course, tama di ay si ciphertext nato dire key equal to empty, and then key nato dire would be 0. It's up to you, no? Anyway, you'll be the one to create ADT. I'm just sorry, excuse me. I'm just what I'm doing here is giving different options for our user. Now when the user chooses to do instantiation using default constructor, then here it doesn't set any for our plaintext or ciphertext of these data members in the data members of our Cesar ciphertext. Now he or she has the option to do other else, no? So right here, he or she can even do this kind of option where na I plain text at the same time na I key. Okay, so this time we can now uh, have our observers, no, our observers. Let's have the get plain text, okay, and then we'll have here get ciphertext. It's easy as that, no. Anyway, Java already knows our intention. So when you create a data members for your Java here inside of your class, once you encapsulate it, automatics Java already knows our intention that this could have either meaning Java already knows our intention that probably we will be needing observers, we'll be needing transformers. So by using the keyword get, you're able to actually uh, automate the code. In fact, nana siya diri sa source, and then pwede ninyo na siya diri sa generate getters and setters. So when you click that, nara siya diri. So you can actually create setters and getters, or pwede nimo na siya i-select tanan, no? Like select all. Okay? If you want. Okay? If you want na Java will create it for you. But if you want na kamo ang maghimo, you can actually do that, no? There's no one stopping you from doing that. So right here, I have here the transformers. So of course, I'm okay with the set plain text. So with the ciphertext, I don't know if okay ni siya for me, but this is like for me, no, my in my case, since it would be better if this is named as like encrypt. So meaning instead of instead of set ciphertext, I will I will do it like encrypt. I will name it encrypt rather than ciphertext. And of course, you will not do that ciphertext. You are not able to generate ciphertext with this formula or with this algorithm. Okay, unless kaning set plain text, you are just asking the user to get the plain text. So either you ask the user to do set plain text, or and at the same separately in set key, or you will ask the user either to do this one. So meaning, once you call it right here, what I'm trying to elaborate here is that when you do uh, instantiation of your Cesar ciphertext, you have the options. The users has options to either use whatever uh, default, whatever constructor he is going to use. Let's say for an instance, if magamit ko og Cesar ciphertext na default constructor, so with this, instantiate na nako ang Cesar ciphertext but without assigning plain text to it. So I can actually call set plain text and key. No? So pwede na ako tawagon ang set plain text, and then I'll just put here any plain text I want, let's say legacy. And then I would have to also do the set key, or just let's say the set key is 4. Or you can actually do something like this one. So let's say Cesar cipher 1, and then you do Compostela, and then the key is, let's say, 3, something like that. So either any of this, no? So this one is when you instantiate your ciphertext, it has the plain text with the key already. But with this one, since you don't specify that na siya plain text with the key, so you will be the one to call for the set plain text and set key, which are actually transformers of your Cesar ciphertext here. Okay? So the same way, if you want to know your plain text, if you want to know your ciphertext and whatsoever, so diri nimo siya, pwede nimo tawagon ang mga observers. But the thing here is that this is what we are going to focus on right here in the encrypt. Okay? So here, din nato buhaton ang atong encryption process. So since you have also the option, either when you encrypt, pwede ka na wala na something like that. So just make sure na natawag nimo ang plain text or kikuha nimo ang plain text. So you can have pwede duha. Okay. Okay, later on, I'm gonna show you. So this one here, string plain text with the key. Okay. Yan. So, kani sa atong unahon, encrypt. So, right here, we can, wait for a while ha. Mag-burps ako kay medyo mauna akong ano eh. So, we have here, let's say, plain key. So, we are going to get the plain text. Since we don't have anything right here no, as our plain text, so we will assign muna. Although pwede ra dili, pwede ra directly na get plain text that actually pwede man nato ni siya as a string naman ni siya because ang i-return ana is a string, no? So pwede ra pud mo dili maginani. So meaning to say diretso pwede niyo sa loop na ni siya ibutang. So what I'm trying to say is that say I have here the hold. Okay. And then I would have here character, let's say CH to represent the character kasi kailangan nato siya character. Okay, and then we have the loops here. Okay, and then so we have here int I is equal to 0, I is less than, let's say, get plain text that length. Okay, and then I++. So since nanatay get plain text that length, so pwede na dili na nato inanion siya. But if you happen and yung gibuhat is i-assign pa nimo ang plain text into plain T, pwede ra po ninyo siya buhaton. Yan, get plain text to plain T. So plain T na inyong buhaton, inyong gamiton dire. Okay? So this time we now have here hold plus so we'll need to do the typecasting. So here, kaya lang syempre medyo taas, no? So get plain text. Anyway, it's up to you, no? So if you happen na nag plain T ka, you can use plain T instead of get plain text. Get plain text. What happened? Hey, anong di man siya mo intelligence? Okay, that car at I, and then since we don't have the key yet, so atong buhaton is plus get key. Okay, so pwede ra pod ana. Okay, and then after that, we are now going to have the to assign, o pwede ra pod di ay ni instead of, let's say, since na naman tayo ciphertext and the very reason here nga nung ano naton siya is dapat pag-encrypt na anay value ang ciphertext. So instead of hold atong ibutang dire, pwede ciphertext or pwede siya na ciphertext equals to hold. Or pwede na diretso, okay? Instead of ang ano nimo is pwede na ciphertext imong gamiton. Okay? And then okay, if you want to get the ciphertext, you just have to call this get ciphertext. So you have also other option later on. I'm gonna show you. Let's say for an instance here, Cesar. So for this, Cesar dot get ciphertext. Now I'll need to, of course, I'll need to call Cesar dot encrypt. Okay, so for me to get the ciphertext, so I set the plain text to legacy, I set the key to 4, and then I encrypt. So whatever ang plain text na assign should be kuhaon na ni once mag-encrypt ka, and then unsay mahitabo ni ciphertext, unsay update siyang value will be once atoa siyang tawagon get ciphertext, so bao na ang iyang ma-decrypt. Okay, so let's say yan, so picky something like that. Again, wa patanag ano atong mo circular siya. Okay, so you also have the option to do this one. So instead of like mag plain text ka like this one kani okay, given naman nino na naka plain text na ni pod, so pwede na ni diretso like Cesar, just make sure na natawag nimo Cesar1.encrypt. Ayan, and then Cesar1.get ciphertext. Pwede pod na, so Cesar, so wala kay inani, and then let's say Cesar2, then sa Cesar2 nimo gitawag nimo ang .encrypt. So in the encrypt, kanang isa ka encrypt na I string, so let's say ang mo string diri hello, and then imuhang key is 7. So you can have here Cesar 2 dot get ciphertext. But yeah, okay. So that's it. So you have different options, no? Based on the ADT that you have created. So right there, yeah, why is that nagnal? So nagnal si, okay, which one is nagnal? Wait for a while. Oops. Okay, balik na dire. Probably na, okay, yan, ang nanal dira is the, na-assign siya into null value. Kasi wala tayong mga instantiation or something like, so check na to. We don't, ayaw ka rattle. So what we do is, or what we will do is that i-trace na nato what makes the null. So probably nahimo siyang null, it's because pag concatenate nimo ang string, wala nimo na instantiate og tarong by something like uh, walay value, and then automatic inal na niya and sa Java, and then once ma-concatenate nimo na, null is considered as a value. So pag concatenate nimo, null plus the rest of the string or the rest of the character of that string. So obviously dili na siya sa Cesar 1 kani. All right, so probably dili na siya sa sa Cesar lang, probably na siya sa Cesar 1. Okay, we can actually trace it. Yan. So, tama. So, we have here null. So, ang word na Compostela is with the null value. So, i-trace na to back, balik ang atuang, ang gitawag niya. So, which is, mauni siya nga method. So, plain text, that plain text is equal to blah, blah, blah key. And then, yeah, after calling it, encrypt. So, check na tong encrypt. Asa tong encrypt? Plain text. Okay, so dapat nagbutang ta diri og ciphertext equals to kaya. So, this is one of the reasons why we really instantiate or we really initialize our variables, because especially in mga string, no, string, especially if you do calculations or process na mag concatenate, so naay instances na magkainani atong program. So although null is not considered as a value, but in programming it is actually considered as a value. So to prevent it from happening, you'll need to clearly or explicitly initialize your values. Now, as you can see, we don't have any more null there. So yeah, no, that's it. So what I'm trying to give you here are options, no? Options in which you have here seen a lot of options for you to do ciphertext and to do encryption using Cesar ciphertext. Now, sir, what is my take? Anong mas na-complicate man noon siya kaysa sa ganina na imong gipakita compared to karon na medyo libog na noon siya, sir, daghan na kay codes, no? So yes, tama, daghan na kay codes, pero same naman sila og goal ganina, sir, na murag ma-encrypt laman gihapon bisan diri ko nag-program ganina sa test Cesar cipher. Okay, so as I've told you, when it comes to if up until now wala pa niyo na-appreciate ang abstract data type or encapsulation, so remember that when you do a program, it must be you must create like ADT or encapsulation in such a way that everything that this one here, consider this one as an API in the future, in the making, no, kumbaga this is API in the making, and probably in the future once mahimo na ni siya as ADT or mahimo ng API, it can be used by any other person. So once they use this one, they just have to call your methods, whatever you're writing inside of this ADT. So mao na siya ang reason. Kasi compared to katong ganina tong gibuhat dire, the solution is always the solution is here, and your algo is actually in the void main. Okay, so what we have right here is that we separate the business logic, the algorithm to this one, no? So everything is hidden inside of this class, and the user will just have to call those methods, no? So those methods that are inside of this one, and I'm pretty much sure you are able to appreciate it when we discuss abstract data type before, or last time, or last week, I guess. So for the encrypt, you can also do this for this one, another way of encryption is with the plain text and in key. So you can also do this one by, okay, so pwede na pod inani imong buhaton, like, so right here, instead of get plain text, so imong buhaton is plain text na lang, plain text dot length, tapos you have here another plain text, and then for here, or of course here, we'll have the key. No, so this is not a method. Okay, so you can also do or use an encrypt, something like uh, string, no, na mo return siya og encryption or mo return siya og ciphertext. You can also do that. So cipher, so diretso na pag encrypt nimo, tawag nimo encrypt. So let's say butan nato ni encrypt S. Ayan. So when you call encrypt S, it will automatically do the return the ciphertext. So yeah, to do that, you just have to, let's say, right here, we are going to create a Cesar cipher 3. And then, automatically, pwede na nimo tawagon like Cesar 3 dot encrypt. Yan, plain text. So whatever imong ibutang dire, let's say, college. Sige. And then you have here 9. So yeah, that's it. So you have there equivalent of your college is LXUU NPN. Okay? So
Sir, excuse me,
yes.
sir.
Yes.
Pwede magpa-send niya ng code niya, sir.
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course. I will.
Tama, sir.
Okay, so now, what if, yun na yung pinaka gihulat nato, no? What if katunang sa nahitabo ganina, like kato si Pikig G or ano ni? Pikig G dapat mubalik siya to A or something like that. So what are we going to do with this one is we'll need to, so kanilang sa atong i-change kani. So for this, we are going to for every time na mag-loop ta, kailangan na tukaon ang character. So right here, we'll need to first, so mo nang kay para ma-resolve nato to, di ba? Remember kani para di man ni ma-resolve kung dili nato nakwaon per character. So if i-visit sa nato per character before nato siya i-convert, like ano sa nato siya into i-test sa nato whether mulapas ba siya og inani na character or Z. Okay? So kasi kung mulapas, dapat mo balik sa E. Kung dili, retain niya tong value. So what I meant is that kwaon sa nato ang value ni let's say kani. Okay? So comment nang nato sa nato ni ha. Ihatag nako ni siya at mag-send mo GCash, no? Cash sa akong GCash. Okay. So right here, nakuha na nato ang C per character sa to ang plain text. So what's next after that is kailangan nato mag-ano og i-anticipate nato na if mag-add ta og character plus the key. Okay? If mag-add ta, dapat i-modulus na to. Meaning, i-modulus pila man ka characters sorry for that, no? Pila man ka characters sa isa ka alphabet. Ang normal na alphabet.
26. Ay,
Oo,
26.
tama ba? 26?
26, sir.
Sige.
28 kung natong inye og
Enye og nang. Enye og NG. Sige, let's say for an instance, alpha nam. Tama ba? Sige, kuha na lang, sobra. Sobra na lang yun ato ibutang. Let's say, int sobra is equal to 0. So, here, so ato ang i-ano na i-anticipate nato na kung mag-add ta og ch na atong character plus sobra, which is na tong key. So, i-divide na to ang key by 26 para if, so di ba example, if mag-modulus by 26 ta, meaning tanan values, if ang character ni if ang key is let's say 4, so 4 divided by 26, so balik lang siya og 4. Okay? Pero kung moabot na siya og 20, let's say key if 100 ang if mulapas na siya by 26, so 27, so mubalik siya by 1 gihapon kasi modulus to 26 siya. So mubalik siya by 1, therefore katong A na po siya. So nibalik siya sa A. So kung 28, nibalik siya by B. So kung 29, nibalik siya by 3 or by C. So inana ang nahitabo ani. So kasi i-modulus nato siya by 26 ang result ani. So if ever na mulapas, so if let's say sobra 2, walang i-ano karon is lowercase. So if sobra siya, what we are going to do is here sobra minus, so mag-minus ta by 26. Kasi ni sobra man siya. Pero pwede ra pod ni siya diliin ani, no? Pwede pod kadtong napoy isa nga solution ani. But this one is para mas masabtan ninyo, pwede ani ang inyong solution. Pwede pod katong without if condition na, kasi the moment na ma-capture na niya na kuhaan na niyang modulus by 26, pwede naman dili nimo siya if. But this time is the structured na solution in which kung masobra siya by z ang result after adding the character, so meaning kung mag-add kag character na L, so for legacy, L plus the key divided by 26, which is, so kung ang key mo is 4 divided by 26, that is still 4. So, tama ba, no? Kasi 0 manghihapon na, 0, 0, then 4 minus 0 is 4. So, balik siya 4. So, di siya sobra. So, kailangan, yan, if masobra na siya, then mag-minus kag 26 para mabalik siya sa letter. So, sa letter A, letter B, letter C, kung mula pa siya Z, mabalik siya sa A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Basahin ana, no? Mag-minus kag 26. Okay, so this time, you can now, that's the time na safe na to do the, this one. No? So what we are going to do here is, i-ano na natong sobra. Yan. Yan, ciphertext plus the character na magsobra. So, okay. So, what happens here is that, kung dili siya sobra, kaning sobra, i-add lang niya diri. Pero kung sobra siya, mausab lang ning sobra. Okay, basi na-confuse mo, dili tanan sobra, i-add. So, mura lang ni siya nahitabo na morning alphabet. So, if you don't want na alpha val na lang, okay, if you don't want alpha val, so alpha val, if ang alpha val more than z, so pag more than z o lapas lang siya sa z, nalantay changes na i-invoke, which is mag-minus lang ta by 26 para mubalik siya by A, B, C, D, E, F, Z. Okay? So, let's try this one if na-resolve ba niya. So, yan. So, as you can see, you have P, K, C. Kung i-check na to ang here, based on our ciphertext P, K, C. So, now it's changed to P, K, C. Okay? So, question? Nakuha, class?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. Sige, now, the last thing we'll do is the decrypt. So, syempre, ang decrypt is, dali lang po. Kaya, syempre, sir, pwede naman kung mag-decrypt, di ba? Diretso na o get plain text. Pwede, pero ayaw po. Don't do that, no? So, do the same process. For decrypt, pwede po ka pwede ka nila itong i-follow. And you can follow all the, for encrypt kani sila, pwede nyo na i-follow kani siya, pwede nyo i-follow for that. Alright. Let's say mag-decrypt ta. So, for decrypt naman, so baliktad lang po siya. Okay? So, what's with the decrypt is ibaliktad lang niya na kwaon niya ang ciphertext. Okay? So, by the way, what tayo nato na perform ganina ang plain as decrypt, no? So, pag that is encryption. Pag decryption po siya, baliktad, pabalik ka. So, using the ciphertext, P, mubalik ka pa left. So, P, O, N, M, L. Ana lang. Then, I na pod, I, H, G, F, E. Tama, sorry. E, tama. Okay, legacy man no? And then we have K, J, I, H, G. Ayan, so legacy. Para makuha nimo ang legacy. So how do you do that in, diri sa ato ang programming or sa implementation? So all you just need to do is, instead of plain text imong kwaon, so of course you will need to get the ciphertext. So get the ciphertext length. And then after that, you'll need to get the key also. So, ayan. So, we have here. So, get ciphertext. So, baliktad po ta. So, kuha na ito ng ciphertext. Right here. Ayan. And then, same lang yapon. If let's say sobra siya, what we are going to do is that if sobra siya more than, let's say more than Z po siya, what will happen? So dapat baliktad lang po siya. Ano lang po tag plus. Yan. So plus 26 and then yan. Okay? So alpha value CH. Pabaliktad man ta, no? So meaning, pabalikta. Pag pabalikta, okay, mag-negative siya, mag-plus ta og 26 para mubalik siya into positive. I mean, mubalik siya mo shift siya going back. So kay mulapas siya sa pag-decrypt niya, mubalik siya para di siya mulapas og A. Pag mosobra siya og A, kailangan mo add lang ta by 26. So mo adto siya sa Z, okay? Or B, or Y na pod for if mulapas na pod siya A, mobalik siya dito. Basta in circular motion. Okay? So that's what we do in or for decryption. So, sige, i-try na to ang decryption for, asan man to? Encrypt. So, kanina lang. Decrypt na to si legacy. So, balik siya into plain text. Though, syempre, dali lang man yun pag decrypt, sir, pwede naman, di ba, kuwao na lang ang plain text? Yes, pwede. Kay kabalo, magkamaw na ang plain text, right? So, of course, it's easy to do that. But, let's do the algorithm. Get, let's say, sa ba to? String ba to atong encrypt? Okay. Ato ning string. So, this time, dapat, dili siya, let's say, kita lang tagline, string hold. Okay, so hold plus, and then return na to ang hold. And again kung gusto mo madali inyong life, pwede ra diretso, bisan, pwede ra mo diretso maingon og string decrypt, return, anang pinatapulan o way pinulos na programming, pwede ra mo hingon get plain text. Get plain text kana, dali ra kay na siya. Kay nakuha nimo automatic man jud na kung unsay gi-encrypt nimo, mao ni ang gi-decrypt, then kuha mo plain text, as easy as that. But that is not the case, no? So what if you don't know wala ka kabalo sa plain text? You only know the encrypted text, no? You only know the ciphertext. Parang ang kahibalo lang ka ang ciphertext. So how would you decrypt it? So dili ka decrypt, dili ka kung kani imong solution nga gitawag nimo ang plain text, yung makakabalon sa plain text. Okay, you only know the ciphertext. So how do you display plain text? So of course you cannot do it. You cannot you are not able to decrypt it. So the pinaka na process is you really do the decryption process. Okay, so let's say string decrypt, string na lang nato siya. So Cesar.decrypt. So sorry. And so this one again is a no. So ayaw na niya buhata. Okay, so gidecrypt na nato siya. So dapat mahimo siya balik into asa naman to? Plain text. Uy, ano man 2mm / man . What happened? Or mali ato ang saan . Check daw. What ciphertext that length. Okay. And then wait, basin mali ang iyahang natawag na. So Cesar.decrypt. So that's we have legacy. Okay, check sa nato nagbalik. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ayan, 6. So tama. So pero this time ang key niya basin dili 4, no? So i-display na to. Basin ang key na natawag niya dili 4. So check na to kung key niya is 4 kasi kung dili mao nang na 4 man. Okay, tama siya. So 4 ang key nato. At the same time ang cipher check po nato ang ciphertext kung same ba. Dili same. Or mali jud ato ang formula. Okay, so tama. 4 and pikig C. So there's something wrong with our decrypt. Okay, so get ciphertext. Okay, so wait lang. Akong kwaon na ni kay get ciphertext. Ani get key akong kwaon. Okay. So pareha. Dire let's say dire akong kwaon is kasi basin ato na lang ni ang ubansa. Daghan na mga tagi para dili atong program. Nadaghan siya gipang read. So yan, there's really something wrong with our decrypt process. So what happened? Basin na ako'y na mali. Alpha val character. Asa man ko nagkamali? Wait ha. String decrypt hold. Okay, so we have get key. Same with key. Okay, and then so let's say unsa ito yung encryption niya. Okay. Pikig C. So pikig C. Wait, ito akong i-read. So atong i-trace. So the only way para maano nato ni is i-trace yun nato. So pikig C dapat mo shift by 4. So ang ciphertext nato is P. First is P. So first character is P. Okay? And then right here, so character nato is P plus, okay. What's the key? 4 divided by 26. So unsay result aning 4 modulus to 26. Sige, anyone please help our ano para so unsay modulus 4 modulus to 26 pila result ana you divide, so that's 4 gihapon no, ay di man la, so 4 retain niya ang 4. So okay, so what happened? Wait, anong yun, kani siya, no? So, tapos, sa A ni siya. Okay, sorry guys. Wait. Nag-ano gihapon ta, nag-plus gihapon ta, so pabalik, nag-shift gihapon ta going to ano. So, ayan. So, I'm so sorry for that, no? Nawala noon ko. So, we have here, then, the only thing na karon is wala ni tuyok going to legacy. Dapat Y, balik siya sa Y. So, what we have right here is, okay, kasi atong P kay, atong P manggod is dako. Ay, ato ang, sani? Tama ba? Legacy. Dako as, yeah, lowercase man atong ano, no? So, the only thing that we have now as a problem is, dili mo balik into YC legacy. So, atong i-check. So, pikig C, that's C. So, okay, atong legacy, ang Y na lang. So, i-read na to si pikig C. So, C minus, key is 4 modulus to 26. That is, yeah, modulus to 26. 6. This is still 4. So, that's C minus 4. Sige. So, C minus 4. So, unsay value ni C? Unsay ano ni C? Unsay ASCII code ni C gani? Okay, 97 man ang A.
99, sir.
99. So, 99 minus 4, that is 95. So, nilapas siya character. So, 90. So, dapat baliktad siya if more less than A, which is less than, if less than siya 90, 95, tama? So, unsa kay ito ang A gani? A is, so wait, ang A is 97, tama ba?
Yes, sir.
97, B is 96, C is 97. So, the value of C is actually 97 minus 4 is, ay balik, 97 ba si C, tama? The value of C is 97 minus 4. Pila ni siya dapat? Anong 97 minus 4?
89, sir.
89 dapat. Okay. So, 89. So, kung 89 siya,
No,
so
sir.
kung,
99 ang C. Sige. 99 matong sige na.
99 ba?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, minus na mag 4, motong 95.
Wait na. Ang A na to, 97.
Oh.
Okay, A na to is 97. B, 96. Si C na to is 97. 97. Okay, ang A na to is 97, man kaya ang A. ASCII code sa tanawa daw, check daw ninyo. para dili ko mo tanaw daw ASCII code sa letter A. 97. Is it 97?
97.
So ang C nato 90. Nganong 97 man ni diri?
98 nitong kuan na yun, sir.
8
Ay!
ang B, sir.
Bugo lagi ni akong keyboard. Wala lagi ba kanina wala gyud koy walay focus akong mind, no? Akong brain cells wala naga-work kaayo because of probably sa mga tambal lagi inom. I'm so sorry for that. 97, 96. Naman tono 97 ni pa count noon ko pabaliktad. Sorry. So dapat 99 minus 4. So this is 89 na po ni. This is 90, 95. Tama nako.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 95 is lapas siya, that's why underscore siya. No? Okay? So kay nilapas man siya, it's mo display siya any other character. So para dili siya para mobalik siya atong buhaton is okay, so atong buhaton kani sobra siya if 90 ang value sa A is 97. So since 95 is less than 97, that's actually true. So dapat atong buhaton is mag-plus siya by 26. That is plus 26 si sa mani 90 alpha val. What's the value of alpha val? That's 95. Okay? So 95 plus 26 pila man ni? Na lang. Pila man na siya?
121, sir.
1,
21.
21. So, tama siya Y, pero ang L karon hala what happened ngano atong L na po'y na mali. Ay, okay. Mao jud ni ang problem na okay, tama na ta siya class pero ang problem is okay, did you know what's the problem here is that ato ang dapat lowercase, okay? Dapat naka lowercase na tanan. So kasi tama di ay. Good thing nagkamali ta karon, no? Good thing nawala ko sa passing. Good thing na wala ni smooth ang last running sa tong program. It's because ang mali dire, did you know that ang mali dire is pag-convert niya into lowercase and uppercases kasi lahi man gud nag-ASCII code ang uppercase ug lowercase. Nakuha niyo class?
Lahi sila, sir?
Lahi ASCII code ang capital letters. 60 plus man yata ang i-check daw niyo. Ang A, ang capital letter A. I guess ang capital letter A is 60, 63, 61, 65. Nadira. I-check daw. 65. Check daw ninyo.
61.
61? 61.
Ay, mat lang siya.
Check daw nato, be. ASCII. So, pag-convert niya.
65.
Tama to akong keyboard ganina. 65.
65.
So, therefore, ang L, lahi. Ang L, 65, 68. Basta, ang L, lahi. Dili. Pag-convert niya, so, imagine ha, example, na-convert nato siya, ang L, uppercase man. So, na Fegacy siya. So, kay lahi man ang equivalent niya na value. So, okay, what you can do for this para ma-resolve is, pwede nimo i-lowercase tanan ang sana. Pwede niyo diri sa pag-ano pa lang daan sa pag-plain text diri, pag set og plain text, pwede niyo ito lowercase. Yan, sa what else? And many more na pwede niyo to lowercase ninyo or uppercase. Depende sa inyong so probably A ni siya, dako na A kung uppercase ka. If you use A or gamay na A, lowercase ka. Kasi again, case sensitive si Java. So same with asa pa tong mga basta tanan encryption ninyo na magpasa og plain text na dapat i-lower case ninyo ang iyahang value. Okay, did you get it? Nganong na inato
Sir.
siya? Okay, good.
Mm.
O sige.
Kanang gagmay ay lowercase lang sir, lowercase na yun.
Oo, lowercase lang na siya. Pero kung naka-lowercase na siya, bisan dako pa ni siya na L dire, pero gi-lowercase naman nato siya didto, dili na siya. Okay na siya. Ma-legacy na siya. Kay gi-lowercase naman nato.
Kung i-uppercase na to na tanan ng legacy, sir, maglahi na po ang mga number, ano,
Yes.
sir?
Yes. Maglahi siya. Awa ha. Okay, legacy. Tapos wala ko nagpalitan, wala nato gi plain text, wala nato gi lowercase. So dili na siya pikig C. Na plain text na to, ano no, wait ha. Tanawa
Nalahi, sir.
nalahi siya. So no, mao na siyang, so regardless of, kasi ang ano nato dapat ang decision nato ato is dapat dako ang Z tapos kani dako ang A. So karon ay para ma-resolve na siya, you follow either i-lowercase niyo o uppercase niyo. Unsa man ninyo ang gusto, lowercase or uppercase. So regardless of naka-lowercase or uppercase na siya, so let's say legacy, tapos inyong gi-convert daan diretso dire into two lowercase, meaning all plain text will be converted into two lower cases regardless of dako man na siya. Pag run ninyo ana saya, same lang na siya. Kuha.
Yes sir.
Okay, good. Sige. So, okay na ta sa Ciphertext. So, again, dili na siya kompleto, kamo na bahala unsay. Anyway, I'll just create a tutorial kung gusto mo dili sa video, katong medyo ano jud, say tawag na number kanang step by step na apod ko magbuhat na lang pud ko. Okay, so right here we're done with Ciphertext. So pwede niyo ni ma-apply, did you know na pwede niyo ma-apply kato sa akong ingon na database. So pag store ninyo ang password sa database, i-encrypt ninyo. So pag abot dito sa database, even ma-open siya, dili siya katong original password. So i-convert lang ninyo siya pag mag-login. I-convert ninyo balik into original. So pag decrypt ninyo, i-compare ninyo kung katuyang gi-type is the same sa value na nakita sa database pag decrypt. Kasi we tried it in one of my classes before. Then medyo lingaw siya, no? Kasi did you know na ang database pag i-open mo na naka-password ka, pag sign up nimo or login, although naka-hide na in any na character, pero pag abot na dito sa database, ang password nimo is kato yung real password. Na what if na open imong database nya man nakita dito tanan password. So yeah, that could be a form of hacking. So para safe ato ang data, mas okay i-encrypt ninyo. Okay? I-encrypt ninyo na ang so ang did you know ang hint ana is pag type ko og legacy. So pag type na ko legacy, nag-sign up ko, ang password na ko legacy, pag i-encrypt na ko na, and then pag abot dito sa database, ang naka-store is pikig-C. So who will pag tan-aw na password pikig-C, ang password pikig-C. But how come ngano mag-login ko nganong dili using the password pikig-C, nganong dili ko ka-sign, nganong di ko ka-login? Because it's already encrypted. Now, how will you do that na kaning pikig-C is dapat kay siyempre as a user, legacy man to akong gi-type. So no, legacy. So ako as a user, legacy la ako nahibalaan. Pero sa program nimo, na-convert nito siya into pikig-C. Pero wala kabalo ang user ana. Okay? So just in case na alay hacker, mutan-aw dito niya legacy imuhang password, ang password sa user niya makita niya dito at the same time sa database, legacy hapon, then that could be a problem, no? Dako kay na siyang problem kasi makita tanan password. Pero if in case na nag-encryption ka sa imong data structure, no, na learn nimo sa ato ang data structure na what if ang mga password ako ang pag abot sa database dapat i-encrypt na ko na siya. So para if ma-access or na-intruder ang let's say legacy PKC, so no matter how many times ang hacker mag-login using that account, na how come nganong PKC nga dili PKC man ang password niya, hindi ko ka-sign in, no? Bahala na ng username. Okay? Bahala na ng username basta ang PKC. Okay? Now ay basta ang password. Now paano siya i-take back to original? So simple lang, pag mag-login ang user katong tag-iya ani nga password, i-decrypt lang po nimo siya balik, which is kwaon to nimo ang tanan let's say ang iyang git-type, no, git-type na password is let's say legacy. So tanan records na nasa database na naka-password or naka-encrypt, okay, imuha na po to siyang i-decrypt. Though hassle siya kasi i-decrypt nimo, but then again one algo away lang na siya. Pag na-develop na nimo tong decryption process, pag ma-read to niya, so pag decrypt niya, let's say PKC na decrypt niya into legacy, tapos i-type sa user pod legacy, i-compare dayon nimo. So pwede siya maka-sign in. So inana ang possible case na pwede niyo mabuhat sa security measures sa inyong program. Actually pwede ni siya buhaton sa mga though ang mga database siyempre karon nanay database locking, table locking, at the same time especially kanang mga kwarta or amount, so pwede naman po na siya ang specific column i-lock, no, para dili ma-access to by anyone. So kung even ma-hack na siya, pwede ra noon na siya, pero again this is one of the ways to do, no, in terms of measure or security measure. Okay, so another thing that I'm going to discuss to you is another way of ciphertext or encryption. So the other way of encryption is Vigner Cipher. So in Vigner Cipher, asa naman to kung gi-prepare kanina na. In Vigner Cipher, you will use series of alphabets, but it's wait ha. Asa naman to? Dito sa downloads. Ayan. We'll use Vigner table. So kani atong gamiton to represent our encryption or to encrypt a certain plain text. So how do we do that? So using this alphabet, by the way, giunsa ni pag-construct, shifting lang gyapon siya. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Z. Tapos kung mapansin mo na po A, B, C, D, E, blah blah blah. So A to Z ang imuhang horizontal, A to Z pod imong vertical. And then if you try to observe, okay, for every time na ang formation niya is A to Z, tapos balik na po ato kag B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A to A, tapos C, D, E, E, F, to B. So ano lang, A to Z, tapos B na po, tapos C, tapos D, tapos E, F, G. Inana ang himo sa Vigner table. But we don't have to matter that. So para ma-decrypt nila, kasi ang problem with Caesar ciphertext historically is this one. Example lang, ang imuhang i-encrypt is let's say imuhang plain text is college, no? So naay college. So pila ang instances na nibalik ang E? Pila ka instance nibalik ang E?
Katulo, sir.
Duha, sir. Tulo.
Katulo. Ang L
Kaduha. Tulo pod.
katulo. So probably dali na pattern. So mas dali na siya posible na dali ma-decrypt na ang syempre like kung ang L ang P diri kay shift constant man atong shift kay dili man na pwede dili constant. So probably ang naatay duha ka instance na mobalik si P and then si E at the same time na I. So ang C na to is, di ba? D, E, F, G. So E, F, G, H, D, I. So we have H, I, P. Tama ba ko? Okay, and then ang E na pod na to is Ang E is I, PP, tapos I, tapos ang G, HI, JK, L, ay ang G kay balik na pod og K. Ayan, K. Tapos, ang E is balik og I. So, ana siya. Ay ang O, di ay, di ay O. 1, 2, 3, 4. S na ini. So, yan. As you can see, medyo na ay instances na balik-balik. So, kung mapansin mo, it would be easier for the hacker to decrypt it kasi naay-pattern. Okay, kung pasabot ana ang P, nagbalik ang P, so probably pag ma-decrypt niya ning P, let's say mayon siyang L, so dali lang niya masakpan ning the rest or other characters na L. Same with E, no? So kasi dali lang ang pattern for Cesar Ciphertext. Okay, so that is why na ay Vigner Ciphertext. Kaning Vigner Ciphertext using this Vigner table. Okay, so we are going to substitute the value. So we are going to substitute each character sa ato ang character na i-encrypt. So here natay, so we'll have Vigner Cipher. So Vigner Cipher. Okay, and then so we have here, let's say the plain text is, okay, dili na lang ning legacy college atong ano. Sige. Yeah, pwede na college. And then naakay, instead of key, ang imuhang buhaton is code. So na siya code. Okay? So example, imong code is sa may code nimo. Code nimo is share. Okay, share. So kanang share is imo lang na siyang itungod per character corresponding to each character sa imuhang plain text. So let's say L and S, E and H, G and A. Tapos since dili man na siya kailangan na pud ka og balikan na pud nimo ang word. So share tapos she. Yan. So ato siyang itungod para legacy itong para mas makita ninyo. And then so we have here yan. Okay? So di man kay tungod no, pero basta inana. So using your plain text and your code, what you are going to do is atuang para mahibal na tong ciphertext, atuan using this table, atuan na siyang ang intersection between L and S. So making us to or generate a ciphertext. So how do we do that? First is L and S. So L and S. So unsa iyahang L and you have here asa to? L and S. That's D. Nakuha? So L and S. Nakuha, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ang ano niya is D. Yan. Sige daw, you do for E and H. So ang E and H, E and asa man tong H? Ayan. E and H, L. Okay? So, Ito lang yan, L. Tapos, ang sunod, G and A. G and A. G and A. Asa man tong A dire? Asang A dapit? Dara. Sa to? G and A. So, you have G and okay. Where's A? Wala lagi A. How is that happening? You have here G and hala. This is the very first time na it happened. Wait. G and then you have so G and A is still G. Tama? Oh,
Duro, sir.
G lang gihapon.
Mugana yun, sir.
Oh, wa tay mahimo. Wa tay mahimo. Okay. So G and A is G. Wa tay mahimo ka mao may ihang display. So A
Bawion na lang sa uban letter, sir.
A and R asa na pod. So kanipod A and R.
R siya, sir.
R. R. A and R is R. Na. Sige lang, okay. So padayon ta C and E. C and E is G. Ayan. Pero at least, kung napansin nimo, nagbalik na ba ang legacy. So example lang ha, ano na to ning E versus sa E diri. So E and E. So E and E is I. So kung E and E is I versus E and H here is L, so layo ra kay siya sa tinuod, di ba? Layo kay sa Cesar Ciphertext. Okay, maghimo na lang tag lahi nga be. Lahi nga ayaw lang ni kay pangit man ni legacy kuan. Lahi na lang. Let's say hello na lang be. Hello and then para kanang mubo lang code. So we have here as kay to i-encrypt. So ulang tag isa ka so ikani atong i-encrypt. Hello. So we have saan naman to? H and C. So H and C, that's J. And then E and O, that's S. And then we have L and D. L and D, that's O. Then L and E, that's P. And then O and C, that's Q. So mo ni ang iyahang ciphertext. So karon unsaon ninyo na pag decrypt para mabalik siya sa plain text. So gamit na pud ka og so what you will do is using your ciphertext and your code. So how do we do that? Sige daw. Any guess? So how do we do that?
Mag-J na pud og C, sir.
Mag J og C. Sige, try na to. J og C. J, asa man dapit? Dire or dire? J og C. L man. So, dili. Dili pwede. So, dapat, unsa man? C, J. Ayan. C, J. Using your code, C, J. Unsa iyang gi-point?
H.
Oh, H. Okay. Sige. O. Sige. O. O, S. Unsa iyang gi-point?
E.
Oh, yan. So, inana pag, pag decrypt. D, O. So, D, O, L. Nakuha?
Yes,
Ako, sir.
Ayaon pag decrypt. Baliktad siya, no? So, anaon siya pag decrypt. Karon sa pag program. So, sige. I will just provide you dali lang po siya i-program pareha murag palos pareha lang siya sa Ciphertext. So, it's almost time, and I will just provide you with a tutorial for that. Okay, para inyohang i-follow. So, it's 11:42 naman god. So, I will just provide you a tutorial for that, no, para anuhan lang po niyo, para na mo'y step by step siya, para na amoy guide. Okay?
Nangayo ka tong code, sir.
Oo po. Ihatag na ko karon. Asa na to?
Yes, sir. Salamat, sir.
Asa naman ni Dapit? Asa man to yung Facebook? Asa Dapit ibutang? Sa Legacy.
Messenger lang
Pwede
guro,
po
sir.
na GC, sir.
GC,
lang.
sir.
Sa GC. Ayan. Okay, and then, so, that's it for today. Medyo, di ba, lingaw kayo? Nalingaw mo, class?
Libog ang ulo.
Lingaw, pangita sa mga letter, sir.
Lingaw og libog pangita sa letter. Sige. Now, giubo po dahil ka. Pare-pareha na ita.
Dagka na kami, sir.
Medyo mayat na gani ko. So, sige. At screenshot ta. Ay, picture ta. Sa inyong attendance, B. Dali,
Iyon,
faster.
ang video, sir.
Iyon. Inyong camera.
May ligo, sir.
Unsa na lang ko, tanawa gud ko nagka-rashes man gani ko sa kong now. Picture. Basin asa na mo na ngadto, basin nang namalingki ra mo galit.
Kita na yung mga bukog,
Sige
sir.
na, balik, dali, faster. Gani. Sige, faster para mahumanta. Balaga and Kabizudo and ayan. Sige. 1, 2, 3, smile. 1, 2, 3, Ismail. Alright, so thank you guys for joining in. Have a great day.
Sir.
See you guys. Ay, exam na nato, no?
Gani, sir.
Okay. Ano lang ko if test same sa OOP mag-provide ko og review quiz. Sige, i-update lang ta mo if naana siya. You can